Hello, hello, and welcome, friends. It is another day in paradise. This is the Mustache Show. You are watching another installment of the Drawing Habits. All right, we're gonna get that. We're gonna go forth, and we're gonna go ahead and do some drawing today. Gonna do some figure drawing, just some figure doodles, just to kind of warm the drawing, get the drawing flow going, and then we're gonna call it a day. About like 30 minutes worth. 30 minutes of drawing. I think that's a good time. So I'll see you there. All right. So what we're gonna be doing for your drawing? I'm gonna talk about things, maybe talk about the drawing itself, maybe talk about I don't know what I'm gonna talk about. It's gonna draw. Let's have a cup of coffee first. Yes, it's late. It's like it's the evening, it's the afternoon. But that's not gonna stop me from drinking coffee. I make a pot of coffee a day and oftentimes I never finish it. So yeah, so oftentimes I never finish my pot of coffee. And yeah, so let's go ahead and draw. This guy's cool looking. Let's gonna do some lines here. I'm gonna get some action lines here. Hiya! Hey! Yeah! Oh! That's so dumb. All right, let's go ahead. Let's be for serious now. Let's draw for serious. I'm super serial right now. I'm gonna be drawing this guy's head here. Let's see if we get this guy's head in play. Get this guy's head right here. I'm just gonna draw like a simplified head, and then we're gonna split his head right here, where his ear is gonna be at, and we're gonna draw a little muscle. Boom. Like so, and then yeah, no. actually, we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna start by we're gonna cheat a little bit. We're gonna add. Well, he's like in like a bushido or like a samurai, not samurai, but he's definitely in like a like martial arts gi, right? And so we're just going to give him his gi here. And I think what I'm going to do is we're going to move. It feels like his torso is flailing forward. It's hard to tell because he's wearing that, like, as I said, like that martial arts gi type suit where he has like those giant sleeves just hanging out. And how much time do I have? Oh yeah, we've got a lot of time. We're not even going to draw the head. We're just going to kind of draw like what could be the head, right? And excuse me. No, we're going to draw what could be the hand, and then we're going to let's see. From there, we're going to draw a angle, and as I said, he's wearing this. What is that suit that they're wearing? It's like a martial arts gi, but there's a name for it when you're doing specifically samurai stuff or swordsmanship. So like all the clothes, you know what I'm talking about. All the clothes are like baggy, right? They're like baggy, and they're just super baggy, right? And yeah, he's wearing super baggy clothes. So he's a super baggy clothes, and yeah, they're just super baggy, and they conceal his entire body essentially. You know, they kind of conceal his entire body. Kind of draw his sword here, or try to draw a sword. There we go. Now, what I've noticed since I've been doing these live streams is that my line quality, like my ability to do a continuous line via using the drawing stylus, has gotten a little bit better. And I'm not using those. I'm not using like those line correctors that you see everyone use, where they make a line like this and all of a sudden it becomes straight. You know, so I don't use any of that line correction stuff. Or if I am, I'm not noticing it. You know, because I don't feel like I don't notice any of it. So I don't believe I've set it up. I think you got to do that. You got to purposely set that up in order for you to have that like line correction occurring. So I'm not using any of that line stabilizing stuff that you see everyone else do. So yay me, whatever that means. You know. Let's see. Moving around. This whole area is in like dark tone. I don't have a lot of time left. I think we're about 30 seconds left, and so forth. There we go. And I think that should be it. Maybe a little bit more like this. Then maybe this sweeping of the fabric right here. Some sweeping fabric right here. Probably a little more bundling there. I probably could have curved his leg a little bit. We're going to skip this photo because that's just bad. Anyways, let's go ahead and let's move back. And we're going to go and do this. But first, before we begin, let's have a sippy poo of the coffee. If the lid doesn't go back down. Go back down. All right. So let's start out with some action lines. Let's get his head / neck. He's tilted he's like tilted up. And his torso is pretty like relatively straight. It's kind of an angle a little bit. And then I feel like his hips kind of tilt like this, and his other leg does this. His arm is flailing out this way. His other arm's kind of doing something like this, and so forth. I'm exaggerating this. Actually, his leg probably comes in more closer to like that. Let's press V. I want to move it down a little bit. I'm not going to get to the bottom of his legs unless I have time to shrink the figure. So we're going to draw the head. I think. Am I? Let's go draw the head. Why not? Draw the head. Excuse me. I just had a lot to eat. I haven't had anything to eat all day. I've been busy just like working. You ever have those days where you're just constantly working and you're like, I can't eat right now. I can't eat until I finish everything. And then pretty soon it's like in the afternoon, you're like, oh gosh, I better eat now because I know if I keep going, I'm not going to eat all day. So I decided to stop what I was doing and just eat. So I decided to eat something and so forth. So here we go. I got to determine the angle of his clavicle, just something like that. And then chest, kind of do something like this. Right. Let's go ahead and do a circle for his chest. Maybe add a little bit of a joint for his shoulder. Then we're just gonna do like a line for his arm here, and then we're gonna go ahead and do this. Just moving around now. There we go. I think I'm doing pretty good. I'm still going slow. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm going very slow. Or at least I think I'm going slow. I don't know. I think I should have more done in this time frame. But I could be wrong. You know? You ever feel like when you're drawing, sometimes you're going faster than you think? Like I feel like I'm going slow, but I might be going about as fast. I might be going faster than I think. So like I might be going at a pace that is decent. You know, this guy's leg. We're just going to do his leg's going to be really straight here. I'm just gonna do like an angle, like a triangular angle for his leg, because it kind of pops out here, and then his hips here pops out, but that's part of his glutes, and then his other leg kind of does the same, but it's kind of going out that way. Yeah. Then we're gonna get his other arm here. Just gonna draw like some simple lines because it's kind of in shadow. You really can't see it that well. Don't get me wrong. His leg does not look like this. It's not that straight. There's some nuances. He actually has more of a tear, like that part where his leg inserts into the back. I don't know, the sartorius muscle. But anyways, I'm just doing that to kind of speed up the process. His legs feel really short. I think I made his torso too long. But I think he might have a pretty long torso if I do a double take of where he's standing at, you know. So he does have a pretty long torso and pretty long like arms. I feel like his arms and his legs are about the same length. Like he's got long arms, long torso, and like comparatively his legs are short to his long arms and torso, you know. That's what I feel like is happening. Okay, so in this next one, we're gonna draw some action lines. I'm gonna draw some action lines to get the feel. It's a very complicated pose. Well, not really. It's kind of, let's see here. It's kind of like something like that, maybe. It's kind of like a. You ever been to those like Cirque du Soleil events where they the performers do like these things that they're wrapped in fabric and they're like spinning around on them? Well, this is what this person's doing. She's kind of she's doing a Cirque du Soleil type thing. So let's go ahead and get that head in there, and then let's draw. I got like the torso here. We're going to draw some lines for the arms, and then some lines for the torso. Well, actually, her shoulder, and then her torso, and then her other part of her torso. Like, well, think about this particular photo. Like we often think like the torso as like the rib cage as static, but it does expand a little bit. You know, there's some expansion. So. With this pose, she's arching her chest. She's like, her chest is pointing downward, and she's like curved. Her chest is being expanded a little bit, so there's that there's a lot of curve happening there. I actually feel that I'm not even curving her torso enough. Like I feel like it kind of curves and then does almost a harder angle. So I'm gonna tilt that there, and then there we go. I think that looks like that's her rib cage, and then this is where her abs are at, and then her leg. Her leg kind of does something like this. And then her neck, her nose. Let's get her arm in here at least, or part of it. Got like a weird grip, and then we're gonna get the fabric, which is kind of doing some fabric things, then get that fabric up there a little bit, right? I think the fabric kind of covers more of her arm. It basically covers this whole arm here. You really can't tell. That was a bad mark. And then the other part of her other arm is like right here, but you can't see it because it's covered by fabric. So it's just going to look like a bunch of fabric right there. And then her leg kind of does leggy things. Like this, and this kind of, don't do that. I would have to play around with this leg. I think the foot, I need to make the foot more. Her leg, her knee is actually lower than I'm giving credit. So I'd actually need to move the leg down. I kind of gave her a thicker bum, but not near as thick as Chun-Li's bum. Chung-Li, or is it Chun? Chung-Li. I think it's Chung-Li. Anyways, there's a lot happening here. I need to make. Anyway, it was okay. That was an okay start. I got really kind of tight on when I started working this area, but this started working pretty good. All right, but first let's have a sip of coffee. All right, the next one. I think it's the next one. Why not? All right, let's go ahead and we're gonna go and do some action lines. One for the face, maybe a little bit of a thing for the clavicle, another thing for the torso, maybe a little torso action, and then another thing for the legs. Just kind of like maybe move this right here, move this right here, and then press B, and then arm maybe, and the other arm, and then maybe something like this. Okay. So with this stuff, we're going to kind of draw this out here. Just by adding, what I've done is basically just like I added a bunch of lines, and they're going to act as like scaffolding for my figure here. Her head's a little bit more on this side here. So let's go ahead and just draw like a box form for the head for now. We can define it a little bit more later, and then let's go and let's start by adding some lines here, some more information of sorts. You know, just kind of adding stuff here that I think I need. Her leg. What I'm going to start doing more of is probably more exaggeration of form, of curves, and angle forms on males, because I think that's going to help me understand the form better on these on male and female figures, just by addressing the curved forms more often. By doing so, you know, it's just going to be better. I'll have a better understanding. At least I think I will. Like by exaggerating this little line right here, I'm exaggerating the how the glute is inserting into the leg. You know, right? So technically, this line doesn't show, but I'm exaggerating that insertion behind the hamstring. Right? By exaggerating this, I'm exaggerating the hamstring as it goes into the glute area, the glute muscle. So that's what I'm trying to be more aware of, at least today. Maybe a little bit more as I keep doing this. I'll probably have a stronger understanding of what I need to be doing. All right, I've taken too long kind of explaining things. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna kind of do a little bit of a Kim Gung-gi method, where I am going to draw more with a continuous line. to get the drawing done quickly, or get parts of it done more quickly. Like that. And then something like this. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and add the clavicle. And then like that. As I said, we're just going to kind of do more continuous line here. And then have this right here. My hands locking up on me. I gotta loosen up. Like this. Bam. And then we're just gonna go ahead and draw the line quickly. Not a lot of time here. All right. Okay, that turned out okay. But I'm still slow today. Slow. Okay. This one's not going to be as fun because it's kind of a boring pose. It's kind of it really is a boring pose, really. The guy's sitting down. He's like, oh! He's sitting down, his legs crossed, and he's just raising his hands in the air. Ah! Like, what? Okay. That's what you're doing, bud. Sometimes I want to skip drawings like the poses like this, but I think forcing yourself to do poses that you don't really like doing is always a good thing. So sometimes I'll skip them. I don't want to get in a habit of skipping all the bad poses. Like the first one I skipped today was this. It was just, the figure was really small. It was an interesting pose, but like the figure was just really small, and I just didn't want to draw from a poor photo. It wasn't like, I don't know. It was not a great photo. Figure was small. It was a odd pose. So it was a mixture of things occurring, that I didn't want to have to deal with. So I'm seeing here is like he's looking up, but his torso's kind of doing something like this, like that. And then his leg is crossing over. We're gonna move this up a little bit. All right, his legs crossing over like this. Notice how I'm really trying to. I'm doing a lot more continuous lines. Than what I've been used to doing. What I'm used to doing. So his other leg is like this. And he's got his torso right here. I can't tell, but his other foot kind of crosses through here. Can't tell what it looks like. It just looks like a bunch of shadows. So we're gonna do something like that. Yeah. There we go. And let's go ahead and get his other arm in there. Doesn't have to be great. Notice I'm doing a lot more straight lines, a lot more continuous lines. I find that on like weird poses like this, it feels a little bit better to do than to kind of structure it out. Because when I structure it out, it ends up being really blocky. And this one, it's still a little blocky, but I can always end up correcting it. If I were to do a drawing like this for a long time, it can always correct it. But I'm not doing a long, protracted like drawing. You know, I'm just kind of doing a short drawing. That's what I'm doing. His ears are down right here. You got his nose. His eyes are right here. And then he's got like, yeah, it's a really sharp angle. As I said, these type of poses, you really have to take some time to really, just takes time. His head right here. There's a part of his head right there, and you can't really tell what's happening. You know, his head's kind of hanging back here. I'm not giving his head it's sharp enough for cranium. But yeah, that, whatever. Okay. Okay, so this one, we're just gonna, it's a big amount of foreshortening. It's one of those like drawings you want, one of those poses that you don't really need, you shouldn't be like, it's not I don't think it's a good thing to kind of start out like the typical manner. I think it's kind of better to kind of look at the shapes that are prominent, you know, and then going from there. You know, so that's what I'm going to be doing. His hand. He's got that hand. Right. Do 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 do. Hand. Do do do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I don't know why I'm doing that. Do 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 do. So quick little hand here. Probably need to give more of that muscle there, right there. And then do 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 do. Don't ask me how to draw hands. I am not an expert. I'm just kind of like, I'm looking back and forth at the hand that I'm seeing, and it's kind of like trying to render it quickly, and not focusing on whether or not I have it correct or not. So oops. Anyway, so I think that was pretty good little hand there. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. And then you have foreshortening. So his arm was right here. Can't tell what's happening. I don't know if that's his arm or a sleeve. And then there's something else right here that might be a sleeve. It's kind of hard to tell. And then his leg is smaller than I gave it credit. So he's got his leg here. And then he's wearing clothes. So it's got the fabric, kind of just doing some quick little like cheap fabric drawings there. And then do some motion for the there we go, arm. Do 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 do. Oh no, we're almost at 30 minutes. We're gonna draw this guy and then call it a day. I gotta go do some other drawing after this, but I'm only gonna do a 30-minute live stream. I could do a longer live stream today, but I want to do a 30-minute live stream because I have some art requests that I want to do kind of, by myself, and I need to kind of focus. And here we go. His face is right behind. His nose is right here. and mouth, and then his eyebrows. Let's just kind of do an eyebrow like motion here for his eyebrows, and I think I'm thinking about, since I saw a lot of like figures with the sword. I've been thinking about what's that, something versus the world? That movie guy where this guy versus the world, he versus all these boyfriends. I don't remember. So here we go. This guy's hand, and then you got. We're just going to bundle his hand into like a weird triangular shape, like that, just so you know that that's a hand, and so forth. On a ledge like that, and then there's obviously a lot more happening here, but and then there's this thing, his other leg right here that you kind of goes in the background. And then you can see part of his foot. Something like that. So that's not a bad start. That's not a bad start for the, that was not bad for 5 minutes. Pretty good sketch. And then all you'd have to do is correct things. I have a problem with, like, when I do digital media, I don't know when to correct, I just don't know when to do corrections. So that is it, man. I did my 30 minutes. I hope you enjoyed the figures. Actually, some of these turned out pretty well. Actually, these turned out pretty good. Like, we look at this one's pretty good. Let's see here. This one, but some of these, that one turned out okay. That one was starting to turn out okay. That one was starting out to turn out okay. This one, all of these were starting out, they were turning out pretty good, They're all good studies, not disappointed with any of them. Of course, I think I can improve and get better and go a little faster, but what are you gonna do? So I did a pretty good job, at least I think, and I hope you enjoyed today's live art stream. I got to get going. And I wish you all a great Thanksgiving, for those that are going to participate in it, and eat lots of turkey, stuffing, and all the good stuff. And I got to get going. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day. Cheers.